It was a Thursday evening in 1983. The table was set with 3 mismatched plates, a pot of leftover curry chicken, and steamed broccoli that no one touched until I reminded them. Jay sat in her high chair, smearing mashed potatoes across her bib like an artist on deadline. Aaron was hunched over a worksheet, his brows furrowed, while Lydia leaned across the table to help him pronounce a long English word I knew she'd only just learned herself. Leslie reached across and quietly took my hand. "We're doing okay," he said. And for a moment, I believed him. Because on the outside, we were. We had a house, 3 healthy children, and enough income to keep us afloat, even if just barely. But inside, I often felt like I was living 3 separate lives, each pulling me in a different direction. First, there was the dutiful daughter. I called my aging parents in Chinatown every weekend without fail. My mother would ask if I was eating enough greens, if the kids were growing properly, if Leslie still remembered to speak Cantonese at home. My father, now walking with a cane, mostly listened in the background, chiming in only to say, "Don't forget who you are." I knew they meant well, but every call reminded me that they were growing older and I couldn't be there enough. Then there was the professional, a woman in pressed slacks and neutral blouses, clutching reports in one hand and doubt in the other. In a sea of male voices, I had to measure every word I spoke. I carried my calculator like a shield, my competence like armor. I was often the first to arrive, the last to leave, and the only one who noticed when someone else got credit for my work. But I didn't complain. I couldn't afford to. And of course, there was the mother, the storyteller, the rule enforcer, the lunch packer, the guardian of dumplings and dragon tales. I sang lullabies in Cantonese, while Aaron asked if I could translate them. Jay refused anything that didn't come in a plastic package. Lydia had started rolling her eyes when I reminded her to speak Cantonese at home. It wasn't defiance, it was erosion. Little by little, they were becoming more American than I had expected. Or maybe I had simply underestimated how loud the outside world was. In 1984, Lydia turned 11. One day, she came home unusually quiet. She was fiddling with the zipper on her backpack as she asked me, "Ma, why do my eyes look different from the other girls at school?" My heart sank. I had been waiting for this question, dreading it. I knelt in front of her and held her face gently in my hands. "Because your eyes," I said, "carry generations of strength. Don't ever wish them away." She nodded slowly, but I saw the uncertainty linger, and as I stood back up, I felt a flicker of doubt pass through me too. I said those words with love, but part of me wondered, did I still believe them with the same fire I used to? The truth was, I was tired. Not in a dramatic way, just quietly, deeply tired. The kind of tired that comes from carrying too much for too long. That decade taught me how to juggle. How to work late but still show up for school plays. How to translate medical instructions for my parents and bedtime stories for my children. How to nod at microaggressions at work while coaching Lydia through her first friendship fallout. But it also taught me the cost of holding everything at once. Your arms get tired. Your heart gets tired. And sometimes you drop things. Dreams, traditions, pieces of yourself you meant to preserve. Still, I kept going. Because when you're balancing a life built on sacrifice and love, you don't stop. You adjust your grip, you pause, you rest, and then you lift it all again. This was the life I had chosen. No, this was the life I had built. And even when it wobbled, it was mine.